This is the female reproductive system which contains two ovaries, fallopian tubes and the uterus. And this is the cervical region and this is the vagina. And inside this ovary, egg will be present. So this egg will come out from this ovary and that stage we will call as the ovulation. So after coming out, this egg will enter into the fallopian tube. So in the ampulla of this fallopian tube, the egg will get fertilized by the sperm and it should get fertilized by the sperm within 24 hours. And after fertilization, this egg we will call it as the fertilized egg or the zygote. And from that, it will travel along the fallopian tube. On the way, it will get cleavage. That is the mitotic cell division. So one cell will divide into 2, 2 into 4, 4 into 16, 16 into 32. Like that, it will get divided. And that stage we will call as the blastula, and it will forms the blastula and it is known as the blastocyst. In blastocyst, the outer cells will be smaller and the inner mass which will be larger cells, made of larger cells. So after this formation of blastula, this blastocyst will passes and enter inside this uterus. So it will get fixed, implanted in the walls of the uterus. So it can attach here or here. It will come and implanted in that walls of the uterus. We will call it as the endometrium. So it will come and attaches at the endometrium. So that process we will call it as the implantation. And implantation should will takes place after 6 to 7 days after the fertilization. So after fertilization, it will takes place in 6 to 7 days. So their implantation has done. Then the gastrulation. So this blastocyst was implanted in the endometrium. So next stage is the gastrulation. So in gastrulation, the blastula was transformed into gastrula and also the formation of primary germ cells. So primary germ layers. So primary germ layers are ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. So this ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm will give rise to the organs. Like the ectoderm will develop the skin, the endoderm will develop the organs like internal organs, the mesoderm will help in the development of the bones, muscles, like these organs will get developed. So because of these primary germ layers, the organs are developed. So the next stage after gastrulation is the organogenesis. So these organs are getting developed in organogenesis. After that, the placenta was formed. So placenta is the connection between mother and the fetus. So the connection between the mother and the fetus is the placenta, and it will be present temporarily only, and it will allows the exchange of food materials, oxygen. So this baby which was present inside, that is the embryo which is present inside the uterus, need nutrient for grow and also it need oxygen. So through this placenta, these nutrients and the oxygen will go inside, and the waste materials, the nitrogenous wastes of that embryo and also the carbon dioxide will come out through this placenta. And there is a cord which will connect the placenta and the fetus, and that cord is known as the umbilical cord. So that is the formation of placenta and also the umbilical cord. After the formation of this placenta, the next stage is the pregnancy. So this pregnancy is the gestation period. So here the embryo will attain the complete development, and here it will take about 280 days for the complete development, and by this time the uterus will expand up to 500 times than the normal time. So this is the pregnancy, and next is the parturition. There is a childbirth. So we saw the embryo attains complete development. After that, the child has to come out. So by that time, the hormone called the oxytocin will help the uterus to contract. So when this is contracting, when the uterus is getting contraction, the baby will expel out. That is, the baby will come out from the uterus, and that we will call as the childbirth. So after the childbirth, so then the mother has to feed the baby, that is the lactation. So for that, the mammary gland will secrete milk. So here, for the production of milk, the hormone called prolactin will help, which is stimulated by the anterior lobe of pituitary. And for the ejection of milk, the hormone called oxytocin, which was stimulated by the posterior lobe of pituitary, was helping. And the milk which is produced during the first 2 to 3 days, that milk we will call as the colostrum, and that milk contain immune substances and it will provide immunity to the baby. These all are the stages, that is after fertilization, cleavage takes place. In that cleavage, blastocyst was formed, then blastocyst came and implanted in the uterus wall, and that blastocyst was converted into gastrula, and that stage we will call as the gastrulation. So in that gastrulation, primary germ layers, that is the ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm was formed, and this will convert into the skin. Skin, internal organs, bones, muscles, like these organs will get developed, and that stage we will call as the organogenesis. After that, the placenta was formed, the umbilical cord will be there, and after that the baby will get, that is the embryo will get complete development, and that is the pregnancy or gestation, and after that childbirth will take place, that is the parturition. After childbirth, lactation. So we saw from fertilization to lactation here. So suppose if from this ovary, if two eggs is coming out and that two eggs are getting fertilized by two sperms, so two zygote will form, and the two zygote will come through the fallopian tube and it will get implanted in the uterus, and two zygote will starts to develop. So because of that, non-identical twins or fraternal twins will develop, that is the non-identical twins. If suppose if only one egg is coming out from this ovary and that egg was fertilized by only one sperm, and that zygote, that is the fertilized egg or the zygote which was formed, is traveling and it is coming to the cleavage level. So by that time, if the egg gets splits into, if that zygote gets splits into two, then it will come to the uterus and it will be implanted in the uterus wall. There the two identical twins will be grow. So thus the identical twins are found. So here we saw how the non-identical twins and the identical twins are also forming. Next we can see about the reproductive health. According to WHO is World Health Organization. So according to them, what they are saying about reproductive health is it will include all the aspects which will come under reproduction. That is ability to reproduce, regulates fertility, women's ability to undergo pregnancy, then safe childbirth, and maternal and infant survival and well-being. Maternal means mother. So mother and baby survival and their well-being. Then the government also launched two national healthcare programs, that is the family welfare program and reproductive and child healthcare program. So here the family welfare program, it will include the schemes like maternal and child health care, then immunization. So when the mother is pregnant, she has to take some vaccines and all for immunity. And after the delivery, the child has to take some vaccines for immunity. Then the nutritional supplement, that is nutritional vitamins, tablets and all they will provide. Then the contraception with health education. That contraception means for family planning and they will give with good health education. And next is the reproductive and child health care. Here they will give, here the scheme which will includes like pregnancy and childbirth, postnatal care. So after pregnancy, what are the care they have to take? Then importance of breastfeeding, then prevention of sexually transmitted disease and reproductive infections. So sexually transmitted disease like AIDS, syphilis and also they will say the preventive measures. What are the things we have to take to prevent this from these diseases? Here we can see population explosion and family planning. Population is the sudden increase in the number of people in a country. And in 1952, India launched worldwide family planning program, and India is the first country to launch this program. And we can see this symbol, that is the inverted triangle symbol. We can see this in primary healthcare centers, government hospitals, like these areas we can see this symbol. Along with this symbol, there will be a slogan called like small family, happy family. Like this slogan will be there with this symbol, and this symbol is for representing family planning. And the contraception. Contraception means birth control measure. So, and the devices which were used for this contraception is called the contraceptive devices. And the commonly used contraceptive methods are barrier methods, hormonal methods, intrauterine devices, and the surgical methods. These are the commonly methods which were used for this contraception. We can see it by one. So first is the barrier methods. Barrier method is a stopping method. So first one is condom. Condom, it was used by male to prevent the entry of sperm into the vagina, and this condom is made of thin rubber or latex sheath, and it will protect against sexually transmitted diseases like AIDS, syphilis, etc. So thus the condom is working. And diaphragm or cervical cap, this is used by ladies. So vaginal diaphragm, they will fit it into the vagina, and cervical cap, they will fit it on the over the cervix region. And this diaphragm or this cervical cap, this will prevent the entry of sperm into the uterus. And the next is the hormonal method. So intake of hormones. So they will prepare this hormone in the form of pills or tablets, and they will intake this. So because of this pills, it will stop the release of egg from the ovary, and this is not safe for ladies, and this is not good at all, because these hormones will changes the reactions of ovary and also in the uterus, and it is not good for ladies. Next is the intrauterine device. Here they will insert this device into the uterus, and there are two devices. They are the Lippis loop and the copper T, and these are made of copper and plastic, and it will remain for 3 years of time. 3 years. And it will reduces the fertility of sperm, and also it will prevent implantation. Implantation is fixing of this fertilized egg in the uterus wall. That is implantation, and it will helps to give time interval between pregnancies. So if they need time interval between the first baby and the second baby, means after the delivery of first baby, they can insert this copper T or this intrauterine device. That is about this intrauterine device. And next is the surgical method. It is also known as the sterilization method, and this is the terminal method to prevent pregnancy. And there are two types, there is vasectomy and tubectomy. Vasectomy is for male and tubectomy is for female. So vasectomy means ligation of vas deferens in male, and tubectomy means ligation of fallopian tube in female. And this is the sterilization technique, and after doing this they will not get pregnant at all. And next we can see about the urinary tract infections. This urinary tract infection will be commonly seen in women, and there are three types. They are the three types of diseases. They are the cystitis or urinary bladder infection, then kidney infection, then asymptomatic bacteriuria. And these urinary tract infection are coming because of from the urethra or from the rectum or from the skin, because from there this bacteria will come and it will enter inside the urinary bladder. After entering in the urinary bladder, it will cause inflammation there. This inflammation means this redness, itching, irritation, everything will be there in the urinary bladder, and that stage we will call as the cystitis or bladder infection, and this will be commonly seen in from 20 to 50 years of age in female. And next is the kidney infection. So in this stage, if you are not getting treated, means it will enter inside the kidney, and it will infect the kidney, and it will affect one or both kidneys, and it will also infect the bloodstream, and this is a life threatening time, this stage, kidney infection. And next is the asymptomatic bacteriuria. So asymptomatic means without symptoms, and the bacteria will be present in the urinary bladder without any symptoms. So next is the personal hygiene. So, to maintain personal hygiene, we should keep our body neat and clean. For that, we have to bath daily. We should keep our hair clean. We should have to wash our mouth properly after every meal. Then we have to wash our hands frequently. Then the towels and the clothes should be washed properly and it should be dried. Then next is the toilet hygiene. So for toilet hygiene, we have to keep the floors of the toilet always clean and it should be always dry. And the toilet flush handles, doorknobs, faucets. Faucets means the pipes or taps which are present inside the toilets. Then the switchboards, these walls, everything we should be clean it with the disinfectants. Then hands should be washed thoroughly before and after toilet use. So these everything will come under personal hygiene.